Could believing the wrong health advice be actually making midlife harder? It wasn't until I ditched the popular diet advice that I lost the 30 pounds, got my energy back, and felt like my younger self again. As a midlife nutrition coach, I see how all this bad advice keeps women stuck. It's like driving a car with one foot on the accelerator and one on the brake. You're trying so hard, but you're not getting anywhere. In today's video, we're busting through 13 health lies, starting with the one that kept me stuck for years. Menopause is everywhere right now. Finally, we laugh at the memes, share our symptoms, and it feels so good to finally be understood. But with all the talk, some myths still slip through, like this one. For years, I just thought and resigned myself that menopause meant automatic weight gain. Menopause does change things. You can't get away with some of the bad habits that you used to. But that doesn't mean weight gain is automatic. The real issue isn't menopause itself, but how your body reacts to poor sleep, stress, and blood sugar swings. Hormonal shifts can change where fat is stored. But the bigger factors are muscle loss, how you eat, how you move, and how well you manage sleep and stress. The good news is those are within your control. So if menopause isn't the problem, what about genetics? It breaks my heart that so many people just resign themselves to getting the family disease. Like your genes are the only factor. But what actually matters more is those lifestyle habits, those eating habits that more than likely have been passed down through your family as well. My husband Brady's dad died of heart problems at 49, so we feared that he was going to follow in those same footsteps. But he managed his weight, he exercised, met with a cardiologist on a regular basis, and he's going to turn 55 this year and is still going strong. My dad had bad cholesterol and some heart issues, so I worried about it too. But I know that there's things I can do differently than maybe he did so that I can have a different outcome. I'm lifting weights. I started hormone replacement therapy. I'm constantly working on my eating habits to promote better heart health. When you don't accept that you're automatically going to get that family disease, you can take control and modify your lifestyle to have a different outcome. But even when we know habits matter, health advice is confusing. After years of research, I'm amazed at how many experts all have just a little different take on what we should be doing. And right now, the big craze is protein, protein, protein. I think the only way to get in all the protein they recommend is powders and protein bars and maybe overeating to get that amount. Yes, protein is important in our stage of life. It helps with maintaining our muscle mass. It keeps us full longer. Protein is an important macronutrient. A lot of those bars and powders are really just processed junk. The food companies know this, so they're really pushing protein. But you got to look at the nutrition label. Maybe there is some protein in it, but are carbs higher or are there sugars in there? What's the real story? And something I just learned recently, that whey protein that's in a lot of the different powders and bars actually spikes insulin, which is doing you no favors in battling that insulin resistance that's causing that menopause belly. Real food is always better. Meat, eggs, nuts, beans, maybe a little Greek yogurt. That's going to keep you satisfied and can maintain your muscle mass without having to do a lot of food math at every meal. So if protein is good, what's bad? We grew up in the low-fat craze, where everything was labeled low-fat or no-fat because we kind of accepted that eating fat made you fat. I know I put away quite a few boxes of those Snackwell's Devil's Food Cake cookies. Oh my goodness, they were so good. But they definitely didn't do my waistline any favors. So we finally learned our lesson on eating fat doesn't make you fat. But now carbs are getting demonized. And if your body's not adjusted to that, cutting carbs can really give you low energy and a ton of cravings. And I think we miss out on all the good carbs, those whole foods of fruits and vegetables, that fiber that is so important in menopause to help manage blood sugar swings and to help us feel our best and have better gut health. Just like protein is an important macronutrient, so is healthy fats, and the right carbohydrates. I think where most people get it wrong is they are getting their carbs from those processed foods, the breads, pastas, and cereals. Those should not have a regular place in your everyday diet. A lot of times when we reach for carbs, what we actually need is energy. So instead of reaching for those high carb snacks that are going to give you a blood sugar crash later, try these 7 energy boosting habits that I give you in the spring habit guide. You can download it in the caption below. Carbs aren't the enemy, but we were told this next outdated myth so many times that you have to be hungry and count calories to lose weight. As estrogen declines, inflammation and insulin resistance rise. So you really have to focus on the quality of food you're eating, not just eating less. Because eating less can actually slow down your metabolism and make it harder for you to lose weight. I know when I did Weight Watchers and I was counting points and the days I was extra hungry, I would go exercise to earn some extra food. And that eat less, move more was really ingrained in me. But yes, I had lost weight initially, but then it just got harder and harder to lose weight. And it made me miserable. But luckily, I think a lot of women got frustrated with that eat less, move more, and realized it wasn't working. But then we were told the opposite in this next myth, that snacking regularly boosts your metabolism. Even though we didn't grow up with constant snacking, our kids certainly did. Every activity they had, there had to be a snack mom. We had to constantly give them food, and they packed snacks to go to school. But somewhere along the lines, it was the food companies that really wanted us to do that. The more we ate, the more we needed to eat. And our blood sugar was on this roller coaster because every time you eat, insulin is released. So if you're eating constantly, insulin stays elevated. And the more insulin you have, then your body gets used to it and it needs more and more. So that's where that insulin resistance comes from. But to break that habit, have more satisfying meals. Protein and fiber are going to keep you full longer. I know my client Maggie was so tired of having to plan her meals and her snacks throughout the day and pack so much food. She actually got tired of eating and being on that hunger roller coaster ride. But when we changed her eating and made sure she started with protein and fiber at every meal, she found out that she could go a lot longer between meals, and she didn't have all that food noise. That food noise actually comes from that blood sugar roller coaster. Between diet rules and all-day snacking, it's no wonder we felt stuck. So we kind of gave up, life got busy, and we put health on the back burner. How many times have we told ourselves this lie? I'm too busy right now to focus on lifestyle changes. I'll start Monday. I'll start next month. I'll start when things slow down. Waiting for the right time is actually what's keeping you stuck. Small, doable changes actually matter more than those major overhauls. You don't have to have time to learn somebody else's diet rules. You can make small changes today that are going to move the needle on your health. If you're in a busy season, how could you fit in a little walk, or add more protein to your plate, or add extra vegetables, or even go to bed 15 minutes earlier? Making those small changes can create a ripple effect into the rest of your life. Now, speaking of walking, it's often dismissed as not enough to count. As Gen Xers, we grew up in the aerobics era with our leotard and tights and maybe our leg warmers. We did Jane Fonda and believed her when we had to make it burn to count. When we wanted to burn off extra calories, we thought cardio was the best. But now in our menopause era, cardio is actually causing a lot of extra stress. But an exercise we've previously discounted might be actually the cardio we need. And what I'm talking about is walking. Walking is powerful for fat loss, joint health, and stamina. It's okay to use cardio here and there, but that doesn't need to be your main source of exercise. Daily movement like walking and strength training are your best combo for midlife. But why exercise if you believe this next lie? That losing strength is just a natural part of aging. Yes, muscle loss can happen at an alarming rate as we enter menopause. But the saying holds true. Use it or lose it. Hear me say this. If you're not strength training, you're making everything in midlife harder. Lifting, Heavy weights, not just those little pink curly weights. You can start there, but don't stay there. Lifting heavy weights gives you stronger bones, better muscle mass, and it boosts your metabolism. It's the best anti-aging hack I know. But what if you don't like to exercise? Can't you just change your nutrition instead? Yes, of course, nutrition makes a big impact, but we're always kind of looking for that quick fix, which brings me to my next lie, that you can out-supplement a bad diet. I'm sure you've seen lots of advertisements for greens powders, things that are all these different vegetables in a little powder that you can just stir into your water. And that's just as good as actually eating real food. And believe me, I've bought the expensive powders. But the thing is, your body doesn't just need those nutrients, it needs the fibers too. And you're more satisfied if you eat those filling foods like broccoli and cauliflower, red bell peppers. You get more satisfaction by eating the nutrients and then just trying to supplement them. Yes, I do supplement in areas where I can't seem to get enough nutrients, like magnesium. Our soil is depleted of that, so it's hard to get enough. But I really want you to focus on eating real food and supplement when necessary. But I get it, it's hard to get started on exercise if you've never liked it. And if you haven't been a good fruits and vegetable eater, it just sounds hard. But you're believing this next lie, that healthy habits and healthy eating are just no fun. We tie junk food to fun, celebrations, and comfort foods. If you can break free from that processed food that has been designed to hijack your taste buds, then you will discover what I know, that real food can be absolutely delicious and make you feel good after. Now, how do you know if your taste buds have been hijacked? Taste a fresh in-season blueberry. Is it sweet enough? If not, then you're eating too much artificial sugars and flavors. So you've got to rewire how you think about healthy habits, healthy food, getting that walk in. That is actually fueling your body for more fun and setting you up for a more active life as you age. And when we believe that healthy eating and healthy lifestyle habits are a punishment, it's easy to accept this next lie. This one makes me furious. I was brought to tears by 2 different doctors telling me this lie. You just have to accept feeling older. Those aches and pains, that loss of strength, that weight gain are just normal for your age. But the truth is, these aren't aging. These are just your lifestyle habits stacking up over time. The right habits can keep you strong and vibrant for years to come. And I know this to be true because at my gym, a regular in my strength training classes is Miss Eddie, who is in her 80s, still going strong. Sunday I went to play pickleball at the rec center, and you know who one of the best players on the court was? Miss Judy, who was in her 80s. So if you want to be a Miss Judy or a Miss Eddie, start not accepting that with aging comes all those aches and pains and those bad circumstances. Start changing your habits today to age stronger and healthier. Even if you failed diets or programs in the past, don't believe this next lie, that you're too old to change. Midlife is just the beginning. If you're willing to make the changes that your body is telling you you need to make, you can come out stronger and happier. For me, menopause was a blessing in disguise. It forced me to adjust my habits to feel my best. Small changes do add up, and there's no need to be perfect. Feeling better starts with one step, and I encourage you to take that step today. It's time to stop following everyone else's rules and start figuring out what actually works for you and your body. If you're ready for some small, doable habits to help you lose weight, you'll want to watch this video here where I have 21 of them. I want you to remember, you are worth the work to feel your best and live a life you love.